Hey y'all, what's up? It's William. Well, I watched the Great Legends video, and it's a very good video. It's like 2 hours long, and he was talking about giving you advice about YouTube, and he started talking about the Mandela Effect. This topic is like one of the hardest ones to explain ever, I believe. At least to me it is. Basically, I started seeing it in January, and I noticed Jiffy changed its wording, but I don't like the word now. I don't like using the word change. It's different. So it was different. So it was double stuff that was different. And then in February I saw Fruit Loops was different, which really ticked me off because I like Fruit Loops. And the way it was spelled Frot was really messed up. I still don't understand why it's spelled that way because to me it's like frot, frot, frot. Because foot and then you have frot. Frot Loops. Fruit. I still like it. Fruit. So that ticked me off more. And then I saw a couple of noodles that changed. Just cup noodles. Cup noodles. I didn't understand that at all. I'm thinking all these brands changed. Didn't really pay attention to it, but I still saw it. My awakening was on March 16th, 2016. And that was on a Wednesday. What happened was my ex showed me a video, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me! What kind of joke is this?" Went back to my laptop, and I looked up. I rewatched it like twice, like 3 times, and then I looked and found more videos about the Mandela Effect. By the time I got done, about 100 videos, if not more, because I wanted to find out everything. I wanted to see what they saw, and what else was happening. The more I saw and try to put the pieces together, and it's like, what kind of joke is this? Am I going crazy? And I felt crazy for the whole weekend. As a first stage, you feel crazy, and then it's like denial. Like, nah, this is bull. What are these people doing? So it's like brand names were changed, and then I found movies were changed, and then books were changed, and then bunch of stuff. Movies started changing. People will call it false memories. They can't be false if I had these memories for at least 40 years now. Risky business. Tom Cruise had sunglasses on, and a white shirt. How could you? And they're either blaming CERN or they're blaming the D-Wave computer. Somehow they busted through our reality into another reality, blew the hell out of that, and we got backdrafted. That's what I'm calling it. Because I know what else. One theory is, I'll try and do this, okay? Let's say we have I'll just make 2 lines, right? We have 2 lines, okay? This is where we are now, and this is where we were at. Okay? A and B. That's the way I'm going to do it. A and B. Okay? So, somewhere, this is the one they blew up. Okay? They blew this one up. And this is where we, I guess, became conscious at. I don't know what else we know because our memories are all from A. And on B, they're all different. Everybody knows that. All our memories, most people's memories, are all different. Okay? So one of the theories is that our consciousness from A went to B. Now, how did our consciousness jump timelines? I don't know. Another theory is how just our memories, after this got blown up, our memories got blasted into here. But the thing is, once you realize what happened, it was like an awakening. Okay, you feel like you just woke up and everything is different. Basically, you awoke from a freaking dream or something, and you have all the memories from here on here. Okay, so either our consciousness moved from A to B, or just our memories moved from A to B. So this is what I'm thinking. CERN busts a hole from our reality into the other, okay? And in 1 second, which caused a backdraft, our consciousness or our memories got zapped through whatever line, whatever energy beam they used. I don't know what it is, particles. It all had to happen in a millisecond. Went through, blew up, boom, it backdrafted in because you have all this space, right? And it would not be able to go anywhere except through the first opening it could go through. And there had to be a split second opening that they made. I know, they're just theories, but basically I'm holding on to the consciousness moving from A to B. But the memory one, just the memories, but what the hell are memories? Me and my friend were talking to like electrons in our brains, right? So we go kapoof, the electrons fall a particle beam back. Electrons, I don't know, whatever we have in our brains. But then we're thinking, well, basically my theory was, how would, let's say that they are electrons, I'm probably using the wrong word, I'm not a scientist, I don't know what words, I'm just trying to remember the words we used. Dexter, stop. What held the memories together when they traveled through the particle beam? If it was a particle beam, I don't know. Whatever they used to pop a hole through it to create a backdraft and have our memories or our consciousness fly back. So we woke up basically on here with these memories. I don't think they're false memories because the memories existed. We had these memories. We lived through this line to have these memories. You know? I can probably count on both hands how many movies or documentaries I watch where there was only 4 people in JFK's car. And now there's 6 on this timeline, and they make it look like Jackie popped him under his chin. The legend says that it affected 20% of people. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that. Might be a little less. I don't know. I think 20% is a little high, but it could be right. I don't know. But still, we have 80%. 80% of people. Okay. Now think about this number for a second. 80%. Okay? This, I'm going to give you an example, okay? One person has a disorder, okay? He has this disorder through his whole life until the point until he wakes up or is awakened by whatever created the Mandela Effect. One day he wakes up, I want to say a whole new person, but he has the memories from A, but he's on B. Has the memories from A, just like I do and everybody else does, okay? But does not have the disorder. Now, let's call him John Doe. Okay? John Doe had the disorder. His girlfriend knows he had the disorder. His parents know he had this disorder. Even his friends know he had disorder. But now, boom, he wakes up, whatever calls the Mandela Effect, deletes, erases, whatever, because now he has a new conscious from. Okay. Technically, it's not a new consciousness, okay? So, the consciousness from here moves to here, right? This is where you might get kind of lost at. So, let's put this like this. Crap. Okay, see if you can see this. Where is it at? Right there. Okay. This is the consciousness from A. This is the consciousness from B. This is the subconscious from B and the subconscious from A, right? So when this moves here to take over this space on this timeline, this consciousness from this timeline has to move somewhere. The consciousness from this timeline moves over and becomes the subconscious. So, this is just one of my theories. I don't know. I think I read it somewhere else, but this is like plan A. So, the consciousness becomes the subconscious. So now we have these two from, let's see, this would be A, and this would be B timeline. Okay? A and B. These two will be fighting each other for a little bit. This is why we always feel crazy at first when we awaken, because these two are fighting each other. Because you have this reality and you have this reality. This is where all our old memories are at. The only thing is, we don't have any memories from this timeline. Somehow this comes here. This come when it switches. When it's switched, it either totally. What happened to those memories from timeline B? What happened to those memories? It's like the old conscious comes in, becomes a new consciousness on this timeline, totally deletes our memories. It cuts the tape and tapes on the old memories. So I have no idea what happened to the old memories from timeline B. Because all we remember is 4 in JFK's car. Remember, all the movies change, and the songs change, you know? All the stuff that is different. And we have no memory of anything from timeline B. What's a good word? Let's think of a word that pointless changes, I guess let's call them. Movies, books, songs, all the logos, and risky business. We know for sure he's wearing sunglasses, but not on this time, on timeline B. It had to been when it moved, it just cut it and then placed itself there. Now I've read stories of some people having memories from both timelines, but I do not remember at all any of these things from B. All these little changes that don't really matter, but so what's the problem now is while these two are basically fighting each other, and slowly they're going to calm down. Here is where the problem begins for a lot of people. They're going to start getting along. They're going to have to. The conscious from A and the subconscious from B are going to have to get along. They're going to have to find a middle point. And basically, they are. The only thing is, our memories make who we are. They make us exactly who we were, I should say, right? Everything you believe in, everything you've learned makes you who you are. But then the subconscious is slowly going to seep in some of the stuff from B of who you were on timeline B. And it's going to change you. Your perception of things is going to change. Your friends and family on B will be slightly different than A. Everybody knows this. People are going through it. So, we're not going to become someone completely different. It's just your likes and dislikes will probably will change a little bit. I still haven't gotten any of the memories back from, or none of the memories from B have seeped in. I still remember everything from A, from timeline A. Have I accepted the stuff that are different from B? Not really, but you don't have a choice. Just take them, put them in a bag, and say, okay, this is the way it is now. All right. You can take it or leave it, accept it if you don't want to. You can sit there to the cows come home and say, well, it was like this. But sooner or later, you're just going to accept it and go on. It's basically where I'm at. It's like, can't change any of it, so I'm just going to go with it. I've been awake for a year and 3 months. if we are jumping. I don't know if we're jumping timelines. I had four different things happening that I went through, and it was weird. One time, I was walking my dog out, and at the end of a road, there was two big trees, and I was waiting for him to get done, and there must have been at least 40 birds over my head. They started chirping, but it did not sound like chirping at all. It was digital. It sounded like an 8-bit video game, kinda. It would just sound mechanical. Freaking glitched all to hell. A guy was walking out. I said, dude, sir, do you hear the birds sound kind of weird to you? You can listen for a couple minutes, and oh, it's probably the wind or something or other. You didn't really pay attention to it, but you could hear it. And it sounded auto-tuned. I hate to say it, but really bad auto-tuned. Because of 8-bit auto-tuned. Let's call it that. But he could tell the difference. You could look at him and say he heard something. But he shrugged it off and went home. The next one, I went to work. And I have a friend who, he says he weighs like 400 something. I don't know if he weighs that much. But I went to work, did all the normal stuff. And it looked like he was like 60 pounds less than what he was. I mean, I worked with him for like almost 2 years, and you can tell when you see somebody that can lose weight, you can tell they're slowly losing weight. But for one day he weighed the 400 plus, and the next day he was 60 pounds less. I mean, you can tell. By looking at somebody like, dude, you're losing weight or you're gaining weight, but he completely lost the weight. He was I wasn't freaking out, but I asked like, dude, like what happened? It's like what? Like you lost like 60 pounds. What's going on? He didn't believe me, but I could tell his shirt was. You could tell he didn't tuck his shirt in. He's just wearing clothes I've seen him before, but you can tell when someone. But he didn't believe me. Even people I worked with, you can tell when someone's having a bad day or a good day the way they act. But you can tell when someone's not acting the way they normally act if just normal day going along. Most everybody there that I talked to was slightly different. I mean, I know it's work, people act different at work, but they were acting people who are really friendly with, they wasn't as friendly and they were just you know what I'm talking about. People they were just different. And I tried to talk to anybody else and just did my work. Got my forklift and did my work because getting used to people. I know people. The theory people are different in each timeline. They're off here and there, personality wise, or the looks might be off a little bit. But most of what I talked to were really different. The way they talked or said things, the way they acted. It's like when I was used to be a trainer, and I went in there. I think it was a week after it all happened, and I walked in, and it's like they assigned me to a table to pack. So it's like, okay, I guess I'm packing today. Normally, it's train people. I've been training people for like weeks, and then walk in, and I guess I'm packing. Okay, I didn't question it. I put it behind, and I packed, and then packed all day, and went home. So I don't know. Things that happen, I don't question anymore. I just go with the flow. And then another time, I came home from work and my dog was sitting by the heater in my room. I was looking at him and something looked off about him. It's just different and I couldn't put my finger on him. So I walked over and I picked him up to look at him better. That wasn't Dexter. I mean, it was Dexter, but it wasn't my Dexter. His head was bigger. Normally, you could put your arms and hands around him like this, right? But this dog, his body was like, it was bigger. Still a pug, but it was bigger. And I took him to my ex and showed him. I was like, does this look like Dexter to you? She wouldn't come out and say it. But she knew something was different about the dog. She knows about Mandela Effect, but she didn't come out and say, hey, that's not Dexter, but she knew something was different about him. He was a bigger dog. Like, my Dexter went somewhere and I got this huge ass watermelon looking thing. It was a lot bigger. I think Dexter weighs about maybe 5.5 pounds or so. This dog weighed at least 8.5 to 9 close. When I picked him up, it kind of hurts your arms. It's like, I don't know. I didn't even know if he did jump. I don't know if he jumped. I even tried to squeeze him a little bit. So maybe he was bloated or something, but he was solid. And I tried to push a little bit more here and there, see if maybe he was hurt or something. But no, he was happy. Normal, that Dexter, whatever number was for that Dexter. It's like, okay, so Dexter jumped. Okay, fine, whatever. It's like I went to bed, and the next day, Dexter got up and was ready to go outside, and it was a Dexter that I'm used to seeing. His head was smaller, and his body was smaller. It's like, yeah, I'm just not gonna ask. Okay. Something like that, it pretty much freaks you out for a couple minutes, and you're like, huh. This whole thing has been, from the beginning, a little Twilight Zone, uh, little Tales from the Dark Side sprinkled on top, with a little Outer Limits sprinkled on top of that. I didn't even know dogs or animals could jump too. If he did jump. I don't know. This is all. My friend, we discussed this with. I think I told you this theory back away a little bit. But our memories jumping from timeline A to timeline B. Just our memories. But what will hold our memories together? What would encase it so it could jump? Just the memories. Basically, what everybody had problems with is the memories. I know the consciousness and the memories might be two different things, but it still comes down to consciousness. You consciously woke up. Perception of everything changed. Your perception of your friends is now different compared to what you know. Your memory tells you they are not acting the same at all. Well, I wouldn't say at all, but slightly something's different, off kilter, and you can tell. I don't know. The two theories run together. Basically, the conscious or the memory jumped. If it did jump, if we jumped, I don't know. I'm just having fun watching everything. But the things that happen can't be explained. The birds, I can't explain the birds. I know I heard them. That guy over there who was walking past me heard the birds. One day I took Dexter out. I think it was the last time I jumped on the timeline I'm on right now. I was looking down between the cement and the grass. Everything blended together and switched back and forth really quick. It was about 15 seconds and then stopped. My eyes weren't blurry because I could see the colors of the grass and the cement come together and just. It wasn't blurry, it just came together and created lines of greenish, blackish, brownish, and then switched back and forth like in front of you, like if someone took a piece of paper with a bunch of colors and put it in front of you, but it was like the whole area, but it wasn't my eyes. My eyes didn't go blurry. They didn't water. It's the first time if we do jump, if I did jump, it's the first time I actually witnessed it as it was happening. I think the whole thing lasted about 15 seconds. And I believe that was 2 weeks ago. The only thing I have to be careful of is at work. Everybody knows that, okay, there are rules on A. Then there's rules on B, and the rules on B might be slightly different than A. So I was packing a few times, and apparently I was packing wrong because we don't pack it that way now. Or they didn't say now, but we don't pack. Why are you packing it that way for? We don't pack it that way. This is the way I've always packed it. It hasn't changed. Guess what? Wrong answer. So they came along and showed me, and said, well, this is how we've been packing it. Okay, this is the way I will pack it now. Yes, other rule that I guess changed when didn't change. It was different on timeline B. We have these big old boxes that are folded shut. Then you open them, and then you staple them. You put them on top of the pallets, and you staple the bottoms of the pallets. Well, we had this one sequence of letters that says CNN, which stands for Canada. And if there is that, then we have to use a Canadian skid. And yes, they have Canadian skids compared to regular skids. Regular skids are longer this way. Canadian pallets are longer this way. But on timeline A, we never really had to use Canadian pallets if the slip was for Canada, you know? And apparently now, if it's CNN, we have to use a Canada pallet. Luckily, I wasn't making a box. Somebody asked me, and I was like, well, how would you ask me about that? I think we use a regular pallet. And because I knew everything was messed up as it was, I went to go ask, do we now use, I guess I shouldn't have worded it that way to them, do we now use Canadian pallets if the paper says CNN on it? And I go, yeah, we always have. I was about to say, well, okay, I'll go get me a Canadian pallet. So many words you cannot use in front of people. The words I never, or why would we? No, you just smile and nod your head and say, okay. It's the first time I actually ran across where things we actually did at work was different. Which is, luckily, I haven't ran anything else. I don't ask people questions unless something comes up and I don't really know. If I can't figure it out myself. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I sound crazy with all this stuff. I know that. But something happened to cause Mandela Effect. That's what people call it. I really hate calling that now. I really do. I don't know what else to call it. Because it has nothing to do really with Mandela, but it is effect. I really can't stand people saying false memories. I can't really stand. No one has really said to me, oh yeah. I asked two friends, they know about it, but they say it's not real. Which is funny into itself. Because the way I see it, if you know about it, even though you say it's not real, it's not happening, it's gonna come a time where they're actually gonna be affected by it. Just give it time. People don't know. I just think everybody's affected by it. Half them don't know about it. Half don't care. They won't see it till time comes. On that, I think that's about it. I don't think I left anything out. It's been a crazy year and 3 months, and it's probably gonna get crazier. I don't think I left anything out. As far as I made this video, I think I did it just to back up Rob. I know people don't think he's crazy, but in case someone does, he's not. I think I contacted him. I wanted to. I had to find somebody who I thought was level-headed and calm, cool, and collected. And then I thought about Rob. I was like, is he like that? So I took a chance. I messaged him. I go, hey, I asked him a few of the questions that I normally ask people to find out what their memories are. I asked him like 4 or 5, and he gave me the correct answers to one to my memory. He said, thank you. And then I told him about it. I said, dude, do your research, find out. He did. The one thing is weird. Okay, me and Rob are friends. I think we are. Okay, I know we are, but let's say I've been to 3 different timelines, and every single one of them, he was a little different. The guy that I told about the Mandela Effect isn't the same guy. It's the same person, but isn't the same Rob I know right now. But all 3 were cool. I, I, like I told the first one, I don't think I talked to the second one that much, but the third one, God, now I'm really sounding crazy. I don't know. He basically takes the religious side of it, which is cool. I'm basically trying to find the science part of it because I gotta take stuff and I gotta tear it apart. I don't know if it has anything to do with God or the devil. I have nothing against his beliefs, and I like listening to what he has to say, and I like taking what he thinks and his theories. I take what I think and my theories, and then put them side by side and find out some way not to make them work together somehow. Maybe there's answers. Every single person has an answer or a key to something. I guess about it. I like listening to what he has to say. Everybody could be right. Everybody could be wrong. Doesn't matter. It's just it's all good. Well, I think that's about it. Just want you to know he's not crazy. I know I sound crazy, but I'm not. Well, this is fun. I've never made a video like this before. Alright, well, I'm going to leave you guys alone. It's been long enough, and I'm pretty sure I got everything out. Even though my theories are crazy. But that's the only thing I can think of is our consciousness or our memories got blasted, backdraft, on this timeline. But every time you jump, what happened to the last timeline? Did it get blasted, or do you just jump? Is that part of the effect? Too many theories, I'll tear them apart. Alright, y'all. I appreciate you watching this and taking the time, and hope you understood some of the stuff. Thanks a lot. Hope I didn't drive Rob crazy with this. I don't know. Alright. Y'all take care, and I will talk to you all later. For sure, it's everything. Bye.